Hi, this is Susan. We're going to make a flour sifter, and I'm going to walk you through it. And this is the small version of the flour sifter, and it's a working flour sifter. See, the sweep is going through it. Okay, this one's a little, just slightly shorter, a little rounder, and got the sweep. Isn't that cute? Okay, so you decide. I couldn't decide when I was making them. I couldn't decide if it was, I'm making it just from memory. Was it rounder like this one, or was it taller and thinner? I don't know. You decide. They're the same. It's just up to you which you think it looks more like what you recall. Okay, so I'm going to set those right here and go over. Just need a piece of cardstock here. And a head pin is going to be manipulated to be your sweep. And you need like screening. This is a piece of, like window screen. And I'm using a needle tool. And I'm using these jewelry pliers that are rounded on the end. And some scissors. And a pencil and some glues. I've got both wood glue and tacky glue, and then some silver paint. And so, real simple. Okay, I've got the two sizes marked out here. Now, if you want to make the taller slender, that's about 2 1/8 by 7/8. Then draw your little rectangle and then put your little line that you're going to glue. That'll kind of help you stay on line. That's where you're going to overlap. Okay, if you like it fatter, if you recall it's fatter, then that one's about 2 3/8 by 3/4, and then draw your little line for the gluing. Okay, so let's do this first. And when you get your tube, I went with the smaller slender. So I'm just going to show you how I went ahead and cut that out and overlapped it. And the next thing is to draw it. Draw the circle onto the piece of paper. And the reason for that is to work on the sweep. You have to draw the circle, go around with your pencil, draw your circle, find your midpoint and mark it on each side halfway, because when you're working on your sweep out of the head pin, you've got to make it curve. See the shape of it? See the funny shape of it? And you don't want to beat up your piece of cardstock, because that's all it is just one layer of cardstock. You don't want to beat it up poking this in it constantly. So you're going to work from this circle first and try to get the top, the flat end, the head. Now, if you're right-handed or left-handed, I'm working with right-handed. So if you're left-handed, you'll put this in to the left. I mean, you'll put it in, so that you have your crank on your left side. So that it's comfortable for you to do it. But I'm just going to work from the right side. But the head pin will, as you see, will be on one side, and the crank will be on the other with the little bead on it. See the little bead? You'll have a big handle. This is 2 pieces of cardstock. The handle will be 2 pieces. When you glue this and you add the couple of coats of paint, and because it's metallic, it's thicker, it'll stiffen up. This will stiffen up. So if it seems flimsy to you, don't worry about that. And you have a choice of doing 1 layer around the top and the bottom. The handle's 2 layers. Or you can do 2 layers. I couldn't decide if you could see that really well, so I made this one with 2 layers of cardstock, top and bottom, and then the handles too. Okay, so it's got the netting on the bottom. Now let me say we do the netting last because it will fray. So we want to not be manipulating it with the netting on it until very last. Okay, so I've made this one, overlapped it, made it. Okay, find the midway point, about midway, on each side. If your handle's back here, try to see, halfway between the top and the bottom, and then look down and you're trying to find it with your pencil, mark it halfway around your cylinder. It might help to put it onto your drawing here and mark it that way. That's a good way to do it. And then take your needle and poke this in. Poke that hole on each side. And be gentle. Put your finger in there to kind of help so you don't crush it. Okay, so then we're just going to set that aside and work at, and this is the hardest part, this right here, getting this to this shape. See the shape of it? It's got to come out there, it's got to come down, curve back up, and then drop down and I left it a little longer. This right here is going to get cut off, but because I just need to pick it up and try it and all that stuff, I left it on. So the first thing I do is make that first, take it to the very tip of your jewelry pliers, and it's kind of hard on the jewelry pliers doing this, but bend it, and then start rolling it with your finger. See how I'm kind of rolling it to get that curve started? And this is the hardest part, is just trying to get the curve. And you'll go over it. You might get lucky the first time. Oh my gosh, you could get lucky and get it just right the very first time. But keep working at it. You can go to the back end of your pliers and kind of use them to help with your curve. But the curve has to be half the distance, within half the distance, or it's going to hit the sides and it won't sweep. It'll only sweep back and forth and not go completely around. So you see, I've got it too big right now. See, it's too big. So now I have to work it. I didn't get lucky that first time. So now I've got to work it, trying to decrease the size. Make it just a little smaller. And now I'm getting close to being able to bend it. I think I'm getting close to bending it. Let's see. Yeah, see? It's getting closer to the size. And I can bend it over here. So this is going pretty good. Then I can bend it down, go to the tip again, and bend down. And then go down about 1/4 of an inch. I remember them being low. It seemed like the crank part was low. And then come out. Okay, let's try it again and see if the curve is fitting within. Okay, so it looks like it is. Did pretty good on that one. Okay, so now you want to dry fit real gently. Put it in. Find it. I'm going to cut off some of this because I don't need it that long. See if I can get to the other hole without making a bigger hole. Okay, so let's see. Does the sweep work? Let me hold it a little better. Well, you're holding it real gently because, you know, it's just, it hasn't gotten glue and paint and all that stuff. Okay, so look, it's working. See it working? We got lucky. I'm telling you. That went really easy. So now I'm going to take that out because I don't want it in the way while I'm putting the trims on it. Okay, so see how that fits right in there? Now I could curve it just a little bit better, work on the curve. It looked like it was over to the side a little bit more, but anyway, now we're going to put this top on before we put the handle, put the top and the bottom. So I'm going to glue that up. So I'll use tacky glue. Now, if you decide to do the double strips, go ahead and take your strips. Let me move these out of the way. I've drawn out the strips. They're, see, where did my, we're talking, whoops, got it upside down. 1/8 of an inch wide, just a little bit around an eighth of an inch. I'm not a measurer. Few crafters are. So we'll cut this. If you're doing a single, then go ahead and curve this. If you're doing a double, then you might want to curve both of the two pieces and then glue them together, because the inside piece will be longer than the outer piece. Okay, so I'm going to take this back into this tool and kind of curve on it, because it's going to end up curved and it'll kink if you glue it flat. So curve that a little bit. And curve this one a little bit. You could glue it, you can glue it onto the cardstock, you know, and then cut it out and curve it real quickly if you do it right away before the glue sets up. But anyway, you've got your top, your bottom, and your handle. And this piece is longer than it needs to be. And I just, you know, cut it down as it turns out. As I made this to give to Gretchen while she was recovering. I know she was missing doing her kitchen. So I made a few of them. So anyway, just run your glue down there. Set them next to each other. Get them together. Anything that's not perfect, you know, you're going to do a couple of layers of this silver after you do the glue. And people use the wood glue, you know, to fill in. I got glue on my fingers. Okay, so people use the wood glue to fill in little spots and then paint over it. So anyway, you're going to do 3 of these. And again, you can do a single or you can do a double for your trim. But you will do a double for your handle, so it's good and sturdy. So anyway, I've got my pieces set up, so I'm going to go ahead and start gluing. Now here's my back center line. So I'm going to use that for my guide. I try to glue from the outside so I don't get too much glue. I think that you can control it a little better if you glue from the outside of stuff. Okay, so where's my line? Butt up to that. Take it around. Should help that you made a curve in it. You might have to hold it a little bit, but get the glue off. If you have extra glue, get it off of there before it sets up. That looks like it's just a slight bit too big. Oops, can't see that angle. Oops, my hands. You know, you're so afraid you're going to cut it too much. Okay, there we go. Just right. I got all this glue on my fingertips already. So, try to get it, the little glue bunnies, I don't know, dust bunnies, glue bunnies, off of it. Try to hold it. In place. Gosh, I got glue all over my fingertips. Coming out. Okay, so then pull it to the top. Get it where it needs to be. Sticking your finger in it, you know, kind of helps. You know, in the cylinder, kind of helps with getting it in the right spot. Holding it. Okay, I'm a real slow build, and as I do these tutorials, you know, I'm sorry, I'm a slow build. I just never have been fast. I have to think about things, but, you know, everybody's different. Some people can zoom right through it. Okay, take your next piece. Do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the same direction. This is a new bottle of glue, so I've already made the Valentine's, Russell Stover's Valentine candy chocolates. And I couldn't get it to grab because it's so new. You know, you want an older bottle where it grabs quicker. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit off. Try it. See if I got it. Get that in place. Maybe I'll switch. And then we'll do the handle. Yeah, go check out the Russell Stover candy box. I did a long tutorial because I did it step by step because I can't give you a download. I'm just too new at this. I don't know how to do any of that stuff yet. I have to take some time off from crafting to learn about all that. About editing and all that. Okay, so now we get the handle. Okay, so let's look at the handles. You see that it's kind of a V shape down here at the bottom and it's kind of rounded at the top. I like it that way. I like it kind of rounded at the top and more of a V at the bottom. So you can fold your piece of paper before you put it on. You want it to meet somewhere underneath it. Play with, you know, getting that shape right. And make sure all this is set up good. Okay, then I'm going to put this glue. Now make sure you stay in your mark, your original mark, because you've got your holes on the sides. You've already put the holes in. Let's see, which was the bottom? Guess that's... Well, let's see. Ooh. This might be too big. Let me see. Okay. Get that in place and hold it. Let it grab. Get the glue off as best you can. See, this glue just won't grab. It needs to get hold on me. Okay, so while you're trying to hold this, get all the glue pieces off. You've got to make sure that it's centered where your two holes. You can wait on the holes and put them in after you get this if you feel like you might have trouble centering this. You can just mark them. That's probably a better thing, is just go ahead and mark them and then put the holes in. That way you can change the position if this doesn't go in exactly the right spot. Okay, I've been off camera. Oh my gosh. Okay, so waiting for that glue to grab. Just is so fresh. The new bottle. Okay, so I'm wanting to check my holes, the two holes. Make sure I've got everything centered. Get all those little glue bunnies off of. Jeez, they're everywhere. You would think this would grab. Okay, so I'm looking down. There's one. Look at that, it's popping up. I don't think I got a defective bottle of tacky glue. It wouldn't grab anything when I was working on the candy box. Okay, so checking my holes. They look centered. Let's see. Yep, okay. So just got to get the little glue balls off of it. But that's a bad thing. You're working it to death. You end up getting all this junk on it. Okay. So we're just waiting for this to set up. And now, okay, if you're right-handed, you'll enter from the left side with your handle piece. Now, you might want to paint it before you put your piece in. It's up to you. It's up to you. See? Isn't that cool? Okay, so now you might want to paint this at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and set it on here because it has to set up on that. Now, I cut this one in a circle, but if you touch, this stuff frays the mesh from your screens material, it frays real badly, easily. So it's almost not a good idea to cut your circle. It's better to set this. I don't want glue on my mat, so let's set this here. and set that down and let the mesh. Now I noticed in some of these, I think they like went upward, kind of concave, or I think they went upward, but I don't know if we can get that in such a small, well, I guess I didn't get it straight, so get it straight. Okay, so let that catch. So you can put your wire in or not put your wire in until after. It's up to you. I don't mind painting it because everything else is going to get painted. And your bead, this bead, some of them are brown wood, but that's kind of hard, you know, you'll put it on last after you painted everything if you're going to make it brown wood color, or you can go back in and touch it brown. You need to put that on with the bead, put it on with a super glue, and be really careful when you do it. Like, hold it downward so the glue doesn't drip, because I had it drip down the side of one of these. So try to keep the glue downward, you know, away from the side of the build. Okay, so see how this is coming along? So as soon as that's caught, then I'm going to go ahead and put the bead on. I went through, let me show you the beads. I went through the beads, and you would think this is a small enough bead, but it's really, that's kind of the larger of the seed beads, and this is the smaller of the seed beads. So you need to find one that's kind of in between them, like this size. So not the smallest. The smallest is on here, and I think it really is too small on this one. See, I think it's like a little too small. So I'm going with this one, which is in between the bigger and the smallest. Okay, so let me chase that around. Put that down there, and here's what I'm saying about, you know, hold your piece up and put the glue on it so it won't drip down. Just put the tiniest bit of glue. We'll let that set while the other's setting. Now, you know I'm a new channel, and I'd love for you to go check out the things I've loaded. I have old projects I've loaded, and I've loaded some new videos and some haul. I just loaded a video showing you all of the silicone molds that I bought, quite a bit, in miniature size. I'm kind of rating them, thumbs up, thumbs down, in miniature. So you might enjoy looking at that to see what you might want to buy. I got them all at Temu. So anyway, isn't this so cute? Look at that. It works. And okay, so I think that's probably set up. Hopefully I'm going to go ahead and cut it for the sake of time. Just go around. You might want to use like cuticle scissors. Cut away. Cut it away. Try not to put any stress on it as you're, because it will fray until you once you get the paint on it, you're kind of safe then. Okay. Oops. So there we go. And I'm not sure the gel's taken on this. I want to take these wire cutter, these jewelry, black cutters, whatever you want to call them, and snip this. Okay, got it. All right. So now all that's left is to paint. Still have little glue, but that's okay. Let's get all this out of the way. And I'm going to switch this out to a piece of brown paper. I've got this new mat, so I don't want to get anything on it. See how long I can keep this mat clean. You know how that goes. Okay, so I'm just going to use what's in the top. Go the inside first. Just kind of makes sense to get the inside. I don't know if y'all want to watch me paint. And you can see there's streaks. See the streaks in it? Well, you might not be able to, but there's streaks. And that's why it needs 2, if not 3 coats. Now, when you get paint down here, you know, make sure that you keep it out of the mesh. You know, poke it. You poke it with your tool, with your needle tool, just to make sure that it doesn't gum up on it. Okay, so now we'll go to the outside. Now, if you have any gaps, you know, you can use that wood glue, fill in any gaps. I'm going to go ahead and I wanted to keep this brown, but for the sake of a quick video, I'm going to sacrifice my brown bead. I can go back and paint it after this is all dried. Okay, so about the second or third coat, you'll fill in all the trim and everything. It'll all get nicer looking. See, it's real splotchy. Now, you could make it look kind of galvanized if you wanted, but I don't think they had galvanized flour sifters. But you could give it some interest with, you know, more than just a flat silver. But you definitely want the coats on here because it will strengthen the handle, especially when you're playing with it. You could even put wood glue. I think I did do wood glue on the handle. I may have put it on the inside of the handle to strengthen it. But you can go and put extra coats of it. But you might try. I think I did do that. I put wood glue on the inside. Just because I was going to be playing with it. See, I'd put some like glue right in there, or maybe, you know, and kind of fill that in. But, okay, so there's the first coat. And I'm going to stop right now because I don't want this video to go too long. So here we go. Isn't that cute? Isn't that fun? Just hours of fun. And then here's our powder. If I put powder on this wet piece, that won't be good. But here we can put some powder. Look at see, we sift our powder. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Got some powder there to look like flour. and we can sift it. Cute, cute, cute. Put powder on it, all around it, and down in the bottom. There you go. Hard work. Okay, please like and share this with anybody that, that likes miniatures. Take it to your next party. They'll love it. Please like and subscribe and help me grow my channel. This is Susan with My Mini Madness. Thank you.